Hello everyone, welcome to today's introduction video about the self in the social world. I'm your instructor, Xue Du. You can call me Vivian. The purpose of this video is introduce what is social psychology, and introduce and define the self-concept, self-esteem, self-schemas, and self-serving bias. And I will evaluating how self-serving bias works, and I will describe how the self-esteem relates to people's health. At the end of this class, you will be able to define what is social psychology is, to describe how does self-serving bias work, define the self-concept, self-esteem, self-schemas, and self-serving bias, and you will be able to illustrate how self-esteem relates to people's health. Before we start the class, I want you to think about what do you think about the self in social world, and please write down your answer on the paper. Now, let's talk about what is social psychology. Social psychology is the scientific study of how people think about, influence, and relate to one another. The self-concept is person's answer to the question, who am I? The self-schemas are the elements of the self-concept which could organize and guide people to define who they think they are. Some schemas are stable, but some change with social context. So what is social psychology? Now I want you to think about to recall what I said before. Let's continue. What is self-esteem? The self-esteem is the person's overall self-evaluation or sense of self-worth. What is self-serving bias? The self-serving bias is the tendency to perceive yourself favorably. There are 4 theories to illustrate how does self-serving bias work. The first one is contribute success to ability and effort, failure to luck and external variables. For example, I got an A in biology class because I'm smart, but I got a D in math class because the texts are very hard. The second one is compare oneself favorably to another. For example, I'm way cooler than my brother. The third one is unrealistic optimism. For instance, even 50% of marriages end in divorce, but mine will be last forever. The last one is called false consensus. The example is, everyone agrees with me that ice cream is the best food in the world. The last part of this video, I wanted to introduce how does self-esteem relate to people's health. As we all know, self-esteem plays a very important role in shaping people's health. There are 3 aspects which associate with people's health, namely psychological well-being, physical well-being, and social well-being. First, let's talk about psychological well-being. The lower self-esteem is an independent risk factor for people's health. For example, it will cause depression, anxiety, stress, eating disorders, and so on. There are 2 aspects for the physical well-being. First, the lower self-esteem people will experience worse physical health, visit the doctor more often, miss more classes because of illness. The second aspect is from the higher self-esteem. The people who has the higher self-esteem will recover quicker and better from illness and cope better with the health condition like heart disease, HIV, or AIDS, and so on. The last part is the social well-being. Social well-being has only one part with the lower self-esteem people. The people who has the lower self-esteem report that they receive less social support, experience more interpersonal stress, and suffer from loneliness and social isolation. Now I want to summarize what we studied. I introduced what is social psychology is. I introduced and defined the self-concept, self-esteem, self-schemas, and self-serving bias is. I evaluate how self-serving bias works. I described how the self-esteem relates to people's health. Now turn to your task. Please complete the pop quiz question on the next page. The pop quiz. First, I wanted you to give me the answer about what is social psychology. Second, please define what is self-concept, self-esteem, self-schemas, and self-serving bias are. Third, I want you to answer how does self-serving bias work and give me some examples. The last one is I wanted you to tell me how does the self-esteem relate to people's health. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you can learn something from this and have a nice day.